Hey guys, I'm Emma and I'm telling you like it is, with a glimmer of sarcasm and a whole gem worth of exaggeration. So please take 5 seconds to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of views equals to me starting to make money on YouTube, which would be awesome. So, 15 reasons why winter and snow suck. Sure, it looks beautiful when you watch it, from the inside of your cozy home or on videos and or pictures, but nothing can prepare you for the horrors I'm about to describe, even if you've experienced it every single year of your life. Look, things are about to get chilly. 1. Walking around in a blizzard. Some cities shut down as soon as there's even a trace of snow. Parents stay home from work, kids skip school, the nation celebrates. But then some places, Montreal, where there's snowplows and snow tires and snow everywhere, a blizzard might be a day off. Or it might not. Depends on how benevolent the gods of capitalism and education are. So yeah, get ready to brave the cold and potentially meet your maker, as everyone and everything slips and slides. Snow getting between your neck and hood? Check. Winds so strong you can't move or at risk of being swept away? Double check. Wondering if you'll spontaneously turn into a snowman? Triple check. What? Winter is that bad? 2. Working out against your will. Look, some of us aren't fitness fanatics, aka me. Look, I like being fit, but I don't want to put a lot of energy into it. And I'm a big believer of fitness as you go, so basically going about my day and getting my exercise that way. But winter is a bit excessive. Like, I don't like having weights around my legs, or walking around on a large ice cube, or I guess an iceberg. Take your pick. Sure, they clean the sidewalks and streets when they get around to it, but eventually that sweet feeling of having your legs sink a foot deep in a snowbank is inevitable. At least once a year. 3. Winter driving. If walking around in the snow didn't deter you, fine. Let's talk about driving in the snow. Being able to see is great when driving, right? Not having slippery stuff on the road is great when driving too, right? Not to mention the poor environment and how many more fumes your vehicle needs to produce to keep it slightly warm enough so that your butt doesn't freeze to the seat and become one with it. And here's some basic logic. Cold temperatures mean cold asphalt. Cold asphalt means cracking asphalt. Cracking asphalt means potholes. Potholes mean car damage. And car damage can only get better with slippery roads and low visibility, right? 4. Getting ready to drive. Because hey, driving isn't the only issue you'll have. Just getting to the driving bit includes a whole rigmarole of activity, which I'm sure you'll love doing first thing in the morning before you head out the door. So look, make sure you allot enough time to clean out your driveway, unbury your car, add salt to your front steps, and brush off the snow from your vehicle before you leave in the morning. And no, that's not what neighbors are for. Oh, and did you know that in Saskatchewan they have to plug their car so that the motor has a chance in hell of starting up in the morning? Can you imagine? What if you forget? 5. Snowboarding. I think I'm still concussed from my first snowboarding lesson. After falling 30 plus times in the space of 5 hours, just casually hitting my helmeted head on the hard ground at semi-decent speeds. Yay! 6. Snow pants. Look, I really don't get why people have children in cold countries. Do you know how long it takes to get a child in a coat, boots, snow pants, mitts, gloves, a hat? Do you know how much whining will happen as they get progressively hotter and more impatient? Do you know how hard it is to walk around in snow pants? As a little kid who can barely walk to begin with. I rest my case. 7. Public transit in winter. Oh, you thought I exhausted all that could be said about road conditions in just the driving section, huh? I mean, it can't be that bad, could it? Other than the extra traffic because people have to go slower on the roads and some fools don't know what winter tires are. Which delays every bus ever. But hey, it gets worse. Picture me in a private school uniform, waiting for the bus in the dead of winter, with tights and a wimpy skirt as the only barriers between frigid cold and my legs. So yeah, I've basically lost most of the feeling in my legs by now. Yay, winter. And look, there's no bigger leap of faith than trusting an unknown driver on snowy, icy streets. Which begs the question, why don't city buses have seatbelts? 8. The holy duo. Look, there is a mythical beast out there on the prowl. It is composed of a coat and boots that are warm, yet not bulky, high wear and tear, yet waterproof year after year, comfortable, yet stylish. Have you seen them? If you do, could you please let me know? Because it's basically a Yeti riding a unicorn at this point. 9. When snow melts. You think yay, I think nay. The joys of winter have yet to abandon us, because that in-between bit between the real end of winter and the real start of spring is absolutely disgusting. Just ponds of wetness, the worst smell ever, and garbage everywhere. Don't believe me? I'll send you some by mail. And if you have experienced this and don't agree with me, what's wrong with you? 10. Heating in winter. It's just too expensive for words. 11. No sun, no fun. Look, as soon as it's dark out, it gets way too cold for anyone to want to be out. Also, living in almost permanent darkness is no fun. I'm not sure if seasonal depression is a real thing, but not getting enough vitamin D in winter is. And you've never had a worse morning than getting out of the house at 5 a.m. when it's freezing cold, with no sunlight, with snow blowing into your face. And yes, that has happened to me more than once. 12. Extreme cold. Look, I don't get people who prefer the cold over the heat. Have you ever stepped outside and been in pain because it was too hot? Have you ever not been able to move or open a door because of incredibly high winds in the summer? Have you ever had your nostrils freeze together in the heat? Or your hand go numb through your gloves from the heat of the outside world, and then had to painfully wait until it unthaws? Seriously, all this can be yours and more in a true winter. Any takers? Anyone? 13. No distractions. Look, someone invented the cell phone, the greatest distraction of all times. That person didn't make it impervious to the extreme cold. And whoever invented those tactile gloves also has to have a conversation with me, because they only work half of the time and my hands don't fit in those gloves. Ever. Just taking out your phone when it's snowing is just asking for water to fry your phone and or make the touchscreen go bananas. So what am I supposed to do while waiting for a bus? Write another YouTube episode by hand? Nope, can barely move my hand with a glove on. Read a book? Nope, cause they're all on my phone. Contemplate how much winter sucks as I listen to the same playlist on my phone for the gazillionth time. Yeah, not depressing at all. But anyways, it's hard to use your phone while walking around and while trying not to slip to your death. And if you do want to slide, check our local sidewalk when everyone's trying to get to work or school. 14. The people who have to clear the snow. Before any of you start thinking I'm blaming them for the state of the streets, here's my empathetic imagination at work. Look, being on call already sucks. Being on call to clear slippery roads in your truck or tractor and trying to not slip in said equipment must not be too fun. But hey, at least he or she is warm in their vehicle, which couldn't be said about me as I freeze and fuse into the sidewalk. 15. Going out and doing things in winter. Trust me, just that 5 to 10 minute walk to the grocery store becomes a 15 to 20 minute adventure trek into the Antarctics. I've been out once for New Year's in a short dress celebrating, and since then have never felt the inclination to do so. Ever again. I'm much more into hosting things or bundling myself into any available blanket as I work on my laptop. My version of hibernation, I guess. If only human hibernation was a real thing. So that was 15 reasons why snow and winter suck. I think I've accomplished something important, discouraging naive people from the cold lands and reminding everyone in the cold lands just how much we suffer. You're welcome. If you love this video, please take 5 seconds to like it and to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And tell me below, what's another thing that sucks about winter and snow? I'm bound to agree. Thanks, guys.